Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. When Nandi Hills MP Alfred Keter joined UDA in February, I was a bit skeptical whether that move was the perfect for him. But I think Alfred Keter was simply trying to learn from Isaac Ruto, the 2017 experience, because Isaac Ruto went against the grain when he worked with the NASA team and he lost the Bomet governor seat. So Alfred Keter joined UDA in February and he was ushered in the party by one Rigathi Gachagua. Now that is the photo that you're seeing here. So when he was ushered into the party, by that time, Deputy President was out of the country on a 10 days tour. Remember the US and the UK tour. And that move did not sit well with some of the party stalwarts. That is Oscar Sudi, Didimas Baraza, the Caleb Kositany, and the team, especially the hardliners around Deputy President, including Kipchumba Murkomen, and they did not welcome him there. I think William Ruto gave that move a nod and okayed that move, and that is why he actually joined UDA. But let me tell you, the reason why Alfred Keter was being allowed in was to set him a trap, because all along they had viewed him as someone who was a thorn in the flesh. So before I actually tell you the trap that the UDA team had set for Alfred Keter, let me take you to the results of the latest UDA nominations. He has won the UDA nominations in Nandi Hills barely 2 months after joining the party. He ditched Jubilee in February and joined the party in the February. So he has won nominations by 10,263, and the person who is following him closely is someone called Bernard Kitur with 7,468. Number 3 has around 2,500. And by the way, the turnout in Nandi Hills was very convincing, because out of the 52,000 registered voters, 21,000 turned out in their numbers to participate in that nomination. So what happened is, when he was allowed in the party, what they were doing is this: they wanted him to join UDA so that Ruto will actually call for that nomination. Of course, he was going to face nomination. Then the UDA party will support his opponent. And the script is, if his opponent would win in the nomination, of course, they will expect Alfred Keter to go as an independent candidate. But that, because UDA enjoys massive support in Nandi Hills, he was going to lose that parliamentary seat. So that trap has backfired because he has won the nominations. The reason I'm saying that was a trap is because if you look at UDA nominations, the nominations were supposed to be held on 14th, but on 7th April, one of the aspirants in that race, known as Wesley Kogo, perished in a road accident, and of course, the nomination in that place was suspended. Then after that, what happened, Oscar Sudi and I think Didimas Baraza and Caleb Kositany were attending burial of that Wesley, and specifically Didimas Baraza came out to castigate Alfred Keter, and actually were telling the mourners, who are the residents of that constituency, not to vote in Alfred Keter because he has defied Deputy President William Ruto. Can you just listen to that bit here?
Wakati tulikuwa tunahangaika kutafuta hao watu waingie waungane na William Ruto, mimi sikuamini, kwa sababu mjumbe yenu mwenyewe hapa Alfred Keter alikuwa anapenda pesa zaidi kuliko watu hata hapa wanadihishi wenyewe hapa.
When the Meru Senator Mithika Linturo was talking about Madoadoa, the people who don't support Deputy President, he was referring to the likes of Alfred Keter and also Oscar Sudi. is on record decampaigning Alfred Keter, saying that he should not be elected into parliament because he goes against deputy president. But then, before I tell you why Keter has lost, or rather why Keter has won, let me tell you what Keter is made of and what Oscar Sudi and Caleb Costan did not know, that he is not allied to it. How did he come into politics? In 2002, when Kibaki was vying under the NARC Kenya coalition, Alfred Keter had just been expelled from Egerton University because he was a student leader and he had led a demonstration there complaining about a tuition fee that was imposed on them. Then they formed the NARC Youth League. So through the NARC Youth League, they had a pre-election MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with Mwai Kibaki, that they will support Mwai Kibaki in the event that if Mwai Kibaki wins the presidency, then they will be reinstated. And through that, he was reinstated back in Egerton University. So he went back to the university and then he finished his studies. Then after that, in 2007, while working in Nairobi here doing business, he vied for Starehe parliamentary seat here in Nairobi and lost. But in 2013, he went and vied in Nandi Hills and won through the Jubilee Party. And remember, after that, he was actually a very, he opposed the merger of URP with the TNA, and he was telling Deputy President that the blunder you are making, and that's when the fallout started, the blunder he was making is folding your party to form the TNA. Then the 2015, you remember that controversial clip where he confronted some police officers at Gilgil Weybridge about there was I think a truck which had been trapped there, and those fellas were demanding, and I don't want to say those fellas, and the police officers were demanding some bribe. So that came out, but on and off between that 2013 to 2016, he was actually opposing the government. And at one point was telling off Deputy President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta about the runaway corruption in their government. In fact, he joined with Raila. He was rumored to be one person that was feeding Raila with a lot of dossiers about what was happening in government in terms of corruption scandals. Remember, he was holding a very powerful position as a member of that some National Assembly House committees. So he went against the president, and they were even summoned in State House. But then in the run-up to 2017, he was so schemy enough, he mended ways with the president and Ruto and went back to Jubilee Party and was in a position to secure that nomination. Now, if there is a place that William Ruto would have fixed Keter out, then that was 2017, not 2007. That was 2017 because Ruto was hands-on the nominations. But that tells you that I think, I understand that he's a very popular candidate. Let's give credit where it's due, that DP Ruto might have known that he's popular, and because Ruto really needs that character. You know what Ruto has known is that Oscar Sudi, the brand of Oscar Sudi and Johanna Ngeno are not helping him, especially in parliament. I was listening to Keter saying that he represents the Kalenjin community in parliament because the likes of Oscar Sudi cannot even express themselves in English. He was talking, I think, earlier after voting in his polling station. Can you listen to that here?
I'm not losing because I'm winning. So the issue of whether you lose or not, I'm winning, I know. I can feel it, and you can see the temperatures around. But I want to correct where you've said Ruto's allies. I think we are messing up with Ruto's name. These are individuals who have lost control, they've lost focus. Some of them can't speak one word in parliament. They can't even say, Mr. Speaker, sir. Yes. So for them to come and lecture us in terms of who we should elect as a member of parliament, it is ridiculous. These are some of the members where I represent their constituencies because they are not in that house. They don't have the capacity to speak. They have no moral authority to speak in any forum.
And I think Deputy President William Ruto is also feeling that he needs such vibrant leaders. Politics is about interest. Alfred Keter could be elected to the UDA and gets to parliament, and he can mend ways back with the deputy president, support deputy president, and of course he can become a very strong defender of Ruto in parliament. Something that Oscar Sudi cannot do. Oscar Sudi can only do the yapping in the social media and maybe in the streets. So this is what really showed that DP Ruto allowed him to go. So the plot for him to be boxed in UDA, he faces that nomination, and that nomination fails. That plot backfired. How? Let me tell you that the stakes were high, because UDA was supposed to do the nominations tomorrow, the 20th. But it is only the Nandi Hills nomination that was done to on not the tomorrow, rather all the nominations are being done the Wednesday 20th of April. But it's only the Nandi Hills one that was done previous day on 19th. So on that 19th, everyone was focusing there. And earlier on, there was a drama. I wanted to look at this drama because I think Rahab Mukami, Nyeri Women Rep, was sent there, and she was using some car that allegedly was belonging to Oscar Sudi, and they were chased from a polling station. Now look at this. So ladies and gentlemen, why do you think he has won? I want us to look at that because I've tried to narrow it down to some 4 points. But before we do that, kindly take a second. If you're watching this video, subscribe, click the notification bell, and also, I repeat, like our videos. When you like our videos, through that, you are promoting this channel. And then I'm also extending a plea to support my brother's channel known as Balozi Media. He's a gospel artist and he's doing some amazing stuff there. Kindly check out his YouTube page and subscribe. Then, one reason why Alfred Keter has won is Hatupangwingwi. It is as simple as that. You know, the Hatupangwingi, that national slogan of Hatupangwingi, the framers of that slogan were only envisioning the presidential campaigns. They were simply telling it was targeting, it was crafted to target the president and Raila, because remember, it came from the narrative that Raila was being fronted by the president. So it means that the president was planning who's to become the next, or rather the president is planning his succession. So Hatupangwingi was brought in to tell Kenyans that President Uhuru Kenyatta should not tell us who to vote in. But what they didn't know is that it was going to be a household narrative even within the UDA itself. So what the voters are doing, they are simply telling Deputy President what is in the meaning of that song, Hatupangwingwi. So when Oscar Sudi, and the blunder that Oscar Sudi made, when the Oscar Sudi and Didmus Baraza went there and decampaigned Keter, they knew that, okay, they were going to win it. But that did not work. And I also feel that Hatupangwingwi sailed in Rift Valley because Deputy President William Ruto was seen to be organizing, or rather pangering, the beat of the Central Kenya. So the Rift Valley voters were like, you are one of our own, we want to vote for you up there, but hapa chini, let's do our thing. And that is why someone was telling me that in Uasin Gishu, Buzeki is likely to win as an independent candidate. Now, number 2 is his campaign strategy. I was going through his social media page, his Facebook page, and I realized a place. He was really attracting large rallies. Then, to my interest, people were seated. Now, I want you to look at this one here. Just look at this video that is running here. This is audience that is seated. These are not people that are standing and are yelling, making noise. All these people, they are seated, they are listening to him. It is a conversational rally. And then after the death of Wesley Kogo, the Oscar Sudi tried now to play politics with it. But if you look at what he did, before he even started his rally there, he was telling them to take a moment of silence. Can you just Listen to this bit.
1 minute, I will see Motwegu.
Very articulate. And that was the strategy that he used. Number 3, I think he won because DP Ruto decided to abstain from endorsing any candidate. DP Ruto is the kingpin there. And if you would have gone there to say, don't vote for Oscar, don't vote for, don't support Alfred Keter, I think it wouldn't have been easy for him. That will be my reason. And of course, I mentioned that Ruto left was non-interference with the Rift Valley because he wanted maximum turnout. This election will be won on turnout. And that is what, to some point, Raila is not getting right. He should make sure to get maximum turnout, everyone feels comfortable. Number 3, or rather the last one, is the track record. It is not very easy for you to win such a UDA nomination because in Nandi Hills, out of 52,000, 21,000 nominated you through Jubilee UDA party. If you get that ticket, you are 1 foot into the seat. So it seems that also what he has done, because I'm not privy to it, but it also seems his tenure as an MP for the last 10 years there, because he won it in 2013 and then 2017, he has really supported him. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The question that I was asking a friend is, why did Oscar Sudi have to come from Uasin Gishu to try to interfere here, while Chergei, the senator, and Nandi Hills and the Nandi governor Sang did not interfere? It means that the Nandi politicians were with him, but only the outsiders. That is my analysis why Alfred Keter won the nominations.